NP Client Focus.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Elway Power Sports of Lincoln is kicking off October with Can-Am side-by-side specials all month long. Are you ready to rule the terrain on a 2023 Can-Am Defender, Commander, or Maverick? You call the play and score big with rebates up to $1,500 or financing as low as 1.99% for 36 months. From an open road to the trails, there's a Can-Am side-by-side that's right for you, and Elway Power Sports of Lincoln has them all under one roof at their new 27th and I-80 location. Hurry in, the clock is running down. Offer ends October 31st, 2023. Certain conditions apply. See dealer for details.
A team succeeds when they work together. Banking's no different. At UBT, we're in your corner for every financial move you want to make. Your money's backed by a roster of experts who put in the work to know you and your community. So whether you're opening a savings account, buying a home, or planning your future, you always know who to turn to. Working together toward your financial goals. That's a win in our playbook. Union Bank and Trust. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Problem gambling is not just a financial issue. It's an emotional problem with financial consequences. If your loved one is struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
Hi, it's Charlie Stone, and here with me is Andy Goodyear, General Manager of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, I know the new Honda sales are going really good right now at Honda of Lincoln. And with that, a lot of fresh trade-ins are coming in. Can you tell our listeners about your pre-owned selection?
I'm happy to, Charlie. Like you said, with new Honda sales going very good, we have a lot of fresh trade-ins coming in daily. And not just Hondas. We have just about every maker model you can imagine, with over 100 pre-owned and certified pre-owned to choose from, and prices starting at just $5,900.
Wow, what about financing?
We have financing as low as 3.29% APR on certified Accords and CRV.
Thanks again, Andy. People love the selection and great service at Honda of Lincoln. Maybe it's time you come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Belmont Chiropractic and Novotny Nutrition and Wellness specialize in getting rid of people's pain quickly and permanently. For 31 years, they've been extremely successful with advanced techniques in pain relief using spinal adjustments and decompression, detoxification, diet and lifestyle modification, and more. They are fully equipped to handle the most seasonal athlete, weekend warrior, car accidents, strains, sprains, and more. Is there anywhere you're experiencing pain on your body, or are you fighting decreased energy and depression? Consult Belmont Chiropractic and Novotny Nutrition and Wellness first at 402-476-8619.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
Houses? They're expensive. And once you buy one, you're kind of stuck with it for a while. You need to make sure you get your best house for the best price. You need Ben Bleicher and his team of pros at Professional Realty Group. They'll take the time to figure out what's important for you in your dream home, and they have the expertise to find the hidden issues that could surprise you after the sale. That's professional knowledge, proactive service. We call that potential. Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's home service ambassador. Find more online at prg-ne.com.
Brown Shoe Fit has all types of shoes for you to excel this fall. Check out their large variety of tennis shoes and dress shoes in brands like Brooks, Hoka, Merrell, On, and many more. Browns has the local professionals to get the proper fit, aided by their high-tech foot scanner by Aetrex. Stop by Brown Shoe Fit today, just south of 66th and Q in Lincoln, or check out their options online at brownshoefitco.com.
This is the Happy Hour.
You guys want a happy hour?
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America.
Yeah, I'll come for a couple.
Here are your hosts, Nick Sainert
I want to know what it's like to commit a crime without having to spend time in jail.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
C is for chunk.
Brought to you by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome in. Happy Monday. This is the Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick Sainert and Rico joining you guys as usual. Hello, Rico.
Hello.
How's the day, man?
So far, so good.
How was the weekend?
It was great.
You celebrated a birthday, is that right?
Yes, we went up and shout out to Merritt. His
not Beeson.
No, not Merritt Beeson. His 6th birthday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we went up there. He's having his party this weekend, but I will be in Lincoln this weekend. So we decided to go up this last weekend and go hang out with them. And it was a blast. I was teaching them some wrestling moves.
There you go. As always, 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline, and the Starter Heyman text line are both open for you guys the entire show today, as well as the Starter Heyman Jewelers live video stream. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Allo Channel 951 are all avenues for you guys to watch what's going on inside the studio down here at 1040 O Street. Come hang out. The sun is shining on a Monday. It looks like it's not too windy out, which is pretty nice. Compared to the last couple of days. Grab yourself a cup of coffee, grab yourself some Beatrice Bakery, and just come hang out with us today.
We got ourselves some Delco Dave's.
That's right.
Some delicious Philly cheesesteaks.
Delco Dave's.
That I'm
really good.
Eat one and probably,
take a nap.
Wait until tomorrow, and if there's still another one left, take that home with me.
There you go. So, Delco Dave's. Make sure you head over there just a block away on 12th Street on just a block. Let's see, whether that be north of 12th and O.
Which way?
And so in the alley behind Starter Heyman Jewelers as well. So once again, 402-464-5685. Just a preview of the show today. We got a good one coming up for you. We're going to talk Husker football. They have a chance to be above 500 this season if they can win on Saturday. And it feels like, I think when Nebraska fans look back at recent history, and especially these last 5-6 years, it feels like it's been a lot longer of a journey than just 5 or 6 years, because it's been so painful and it's been so bad at times, right? And it feels like Nebraska has not been over 500 in a very long time. Now, they were never 500 in 2022. They were over 500 in 2021 because they had back-to-back games against Fordham and then Buffalo. Okay, so they had 2 wins, right? So now, when you look at Nebraska this Saturday, right? Northwestern, and then you have, in some order, Purdue, Maryland, and Michigan State. Maryland, I don't know how scary they are viewed as anymore after losing to Illinois.
I was
this weekend.
terrified of the Terrapins for the longest time, and after watching them against Illinois, it could have been that they put it on cruise control and thought they could just kind of walk right over Illinois, but they didn't. They ended up losing to a bad Illinois team.
Yeah.
So that kind of, tempers the expectations. And if you were afraid of the Terrapins like I was, not as scary anymore. I still don't know if Nebraska wins that game, but, we got to see what Nebraska looks like after their bye week.
Well, and so Maryland will come to Nebraska or come to Lincoln here in a few weeks, but I just think that the Big Ten West is wide open, right? The one team that was undefeated this weekend in the Big Ten Conference, that is the Wisconsin Badgers, lost to Iowa somehow, some way.
That game was disgusting. I don't care what Matt Rule says.
Yeah.
And it was a beautiful defense. No, that game was disgusting.
I agree.
Coach.
Iowa is a 4-point favorite going into their game against Minnesota this week. The over-under is 31.5.
I'd be surprised if that hits.
I would be shocked as well. I think Iowa feels, and we talked about this on the drive this morning, Iowa feels somewhat like the New York Jets of college football, to where you don't know how they win games. Well, I mean, you know how, but somehow they just kind of continue to find their way in games and their spot, and they end up squeaking it out or winning at the end of it when it's all said and done. And here we are through 7 games, and Iowa's 6-1 and going bowling again.
If they win the Big Ten West, if they finish 11-1 or 10-2, whatever, and they don't hit that 25 points per game mark, what do we do? What are we doing? Are they going to fire Brian Ferentz?
They're in the 115 range in the country in terms of scoring offense. They're averaging 20.9 points per game. Now,
And that's all because of that outburst.
I was just gonna say that factors in. That includes special teams. That includes punt returns. That includes defensive touchdown. Or excuse me, no, I guess it wouldn't include defensive touchdowns. But that's all points per game, right?
Yeah.
So I think when you look
that would
at
include defense, it's just points per
it
game.
would just be points per game. So it's like when you look at Iowa, right? They're going to be under that threshold of the 25 that Brian Ferentz is going to need. But if they make it to the Big Ten title game, that November 24th game against Nebraska here in Lincoln will be quite interesting, I would assume.
There's an Iowa points per game tracker on Twitter, and he has them at 19.167 points per game.
There you go.
Offensively.
So there you go. But so once again, I mean, it's just disgusting if you watch Iowa, but they win games, and Nebraska fans, I think we all can agree that we don't care how they win them, right? Nebraska, for that matter, this year, offense is not very good. We don't care how Nebraska wins a game, just win it.
Yep.
And so Iowa fans can't complain too much, I don't think, when they're 6-1 here through 7 games this season.
Do they still if they win the big? Do they still fire
They
Brian?
have to.
It's in the contract.
That's why it's tough to put
that
a number to it, because then you're gonna like sit there and this hypothetical situation or conversation that we were discussing months ago when this was announced. The hypothetical situation of, oh no, what do they do if they are 9-3 or if they are 8-4 or 10-2 and their defense is just that good? Well, now we're finding it out to where we don't really know what they are going to specifically do.
Well, now they're running with a backup quarterback who is not. I don't. He's not great. Their offense wasn't great to begin with. He's not great either right now. You know, it's hard to say, with Nebraska's quarterback situation as well. But their was it not Dax Hill?
It's Deacon Hill.
Deacon Hill. I keep want to say. I don't know why I want to say Dax Hill. I don't know who Dax is, but they want
Dax Hill was a former defensive back for the Michigan Wolverines.
Thank you, Deacon Hill at quarterback right now for Iowa. Not great. Well, granted, their offense again not great. Wide receivers, tight ends. They're down 2 tight ends. Also, their running game is they finally got their starting running back, and he's run pretty good the last 2 games. But it's just it's a crapshoot.
I can't remember who they were playing 2 weeks ago, but Deacon Hill started the game 1 for 12 with an interception.
Yep,
and Iowa still ended up winning. So
he wasn't much better this week.
No, he's not very good. So I don't know. We'll see how the Big Ten West though pans out.
It's going to be gross. Whoever wins the Big Ten West is just a stepping stone for the Big Ten East playoff team. And like it's so disappointing. I mean, we can talk about this. Like it's disappointing as a Big Ten West follower and fan of a team in that division, just kind of knowing that whatever of those 3 teams that you play in the Big Ten championship, whether it's Michigan, whether it's Penn State, or whether it's Ohio State. And I think if you were asking me, that's the likelihood of it is Michigan's the most likely, Penn State's the second, and Ohio State's the third. I say Penn State's more likely. I like the way if Penn State, and it's one game. If Penn State beats Ohio State, I understand that. But even in their other games, if they beat Ohio State this weekend, I think they have the fast track.
Yeah, that game is 11 a.m. on Fox, by the way, at Happy Valley. But I think but back to the point, like it's such a disappointing feeling knowing that as a Big Ten West program, you might be far and below that Big Ten East team that you're playing in the Big Ten championship game. Like you're going there hopefully to just not lose 70-31.
Yeah, like you're hoping you get to 14 points.
Yeah. So
because all 3 of them also have outside of explosive offenses for all 3 of them, fantastic defenses for all 3.
That's why like Michigan, and once again, like I watched about 96 or 97% of the Michigan-Indiana game over the weekend. They looked flat. They did not come out firing on Saturday against Indiana. Indiana ended up scoring that touchdown on a trick play.
Yep.
And they were up 7-0 at the end of the first quarter. Indiana was. And then Michigan scores 52 when they went scoreless in the first quarter. And yes, understand the opponent, but then also all the starters were pulled by the start of the fourth quarter. And so like Indiana's former quarterback, Jack Tuttle, is now currently at Michigan as the backup quarterback. And he has played in the fourth quarter of every single game for the Michigan Wolverines. They have not had a single starter play in the fourth quarter this year.
Ridiculous.
And they've blown out their opponents. They've beat their opponents. And I said this morning, that's kind of the difference between Michigan and Georgia, is Georgia's played a really bad schedule, and they've won, yes,
but they've been close in a few.
But they've had some scares, right? South Carolina on the road, they were losing at half. They were down early against Vanderbilt. They haven't looked great, and now Brock Bowers is going to need ankle surgery. But now Michigan specifically has not had that issue.
No.
They've had the 3 interception game from JJ McCarthy against Bowling Green.
Still dog walked them.
Still beat them, right? Never really a question of whether or not Michigan was going to win the game that they were playing at that point. So I just think Nebraska, here's the deal. They take it one step at a time, one game at a time. And if they win this week, they're going to be 4-3 and over 500 and 2 games away from that benchmark of we need 2 more wins to go bowling.
They'll be 2-2 in the Big Ten.
Yeah. And in full control, as for all the people out there, full control of their destiny, right? You win the rest of your games against Big Ten West opponents, and despite your loss against Minnesota, you're playing. You're playing on December 10th or whatever day
whatever
it is.
The day is for you're hoping not to get blown out by Penn State
or Michigan.
It's going to be Penn State.
Let's be honest. I think the overwhelming thought is that it's going to be either Michigan or Penn State. Not many people are giving Ohio State a chance.
No, not really. Weird thing with the fact that none of Michigan's starters have played in the fourth quarter. When they do get in a close game and they have to play in the fourth quarter, none of them are going to have the stamina.
Yeah.
They're all going to be tired.
Yeah, they're all going to be gassed.
That's what it's going to be. When they get in a close game, they're all going to be gassed, and they're not going to be able to do anything, and that's going to be their downfall. Your downfall is that you were too good.
Once again, 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline and the Starter Heyman text line. One of the things from Matt Rule today was that Heinrich Harburg is going to be the starting quarterback, right? And we've kind of had this preconceived notion or thought that, all right, yeah, Heinrich Harburg is kind of viewed as the starter. The guy's 3-1 as a starting quarterback, right? Has beaten Illinois, has beaten Louisiana Tech, and has beaten Northern Illinois. Fell to Michigan, obviously.
Anybody would have.
But I think we look at having the official word is a little bit of obviously a confirmation of all right, this is who Nebraska's rolling with. You can look at it as, all right, give kudos to Heinrich Harburg because he was able to step up, win a couple games, or help lead Nebraska to a couple games, not turn over the football as much as maybe Jeff Sims did in those first 2 games against Minnesota and Colorado. And then, Rico, there's not a part of me, there is a part of me, that unfortunately I'm sitting here going, yikes, this isn't a great look on the staff right now.
Yeah, the talent evaluation comes into question a little bit because they went out and Jeff Sims was their dude and was the starter as soon as he arrived on campus. And now, he comes back from an injury and you're still rolling with the backup redshirt sophomore from Kearney, Nebraska. Again, no shots to him, but you went out and you got this 3-year on and off starter from a Power 5 conference.
You allowed and moved on from guys that were already in the room.
Yep. And you bring him in, he gets hurt in the second game, and he's lost his job to the redshirt sophomore.
And I think obviously this conversation would be different if Nebraska lost a couple more games, right? If Heinrich Harburg was 1-3 as a starter, maybe we're having a different conversation. They're sticking with Jeff Sims and understanding that part of this decision could certainly be because they've won and because they've found some continuity and consistency with Heinrich Harburg, right? And they've certainly grown probably from the first game that we saw Heinrich Harburg lead this team out of the tunnel. Now, so I understand that to an extent. It's also just kind of interesting. Once again, like you said, they went out, they handpicked this guy, they moved on from other guys.
You talked him up so much.
Yeah. Don't never forget the quote about Jeff Sims being an NFL type of quarterback.
I was told by people, why aren't you looking at this guy? He's an NFL talent.
And once again, Nebraska took Jeff really early in the offseason. They were when they got here. And that's obviously an important decision and an important choice.
Quarterback.
You need your quarterback. But I'm saying in consideration with other guys that were available in the portal or other people that maybe were even in your quarterback room already. You went with Jeff Sims, and that's fine. Like, obviously hindsight's going to be 2020, and maybe in 10 years they're going to sit back and go, you know what, maybe we shouldn't have taken Jeff. Like, whatever that conversation is, there is also a part of me though that's like, yeah, I would have liked to see Jeff Sims a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. That was
I certainly am like, man, I wish I could have seen Jeff Sims against the Louisiana Techs.
Mm-hmm.
There is.
And that's just my whole stance on this is I want to see Jeff Sims to see what he has to offer.
Yeah.
We saw him against Minnesota. We saw him against Colorado. And unfortunately, neither one of those games went his way. But at the same time, if he would have gotten to play against a Louisiana Tech, a Northern Illinois in the first two games, as opposed to starting off with Minnesota, and I understand, you know, you want to say Minnesota's not that good of a team. You want to say Colorado's not that good of a team, whatever you want to say. Even then, they're still Power 5 teams. So if he was able to start against those two group of 5 teams, what will we have seen from Jeff Sims? If he was able to come back from that injury a little earlier and, you know, maybe they split those group of 5 games where Heinrich starts against Northern Illinois and Jeff starts against Louisiana Tech. I just wanted to see, and I still want to see more of Jeff Sims and to see what he has to offer, because I feel like you got the worst version of Sims in those 2 games. And there is a middle ground that he can hit that is really good.
It's also interesting because, like, Nebraska's offense prior, and this is, I mean, obviously now because you can just kind of point to injuries all over the offensive side of the ball as to maybe why they struggled in certain situations. But, like, there were things maybe even out of Jeff Sims' control that caused issues for Nebraska early on in those 2 games. Like, I think a pattern that's transferred from Jeff Sims to Heinrich Harburg has been atrocious play calling and decision making and just not really knowing what to do with the football on the drive prior to halftime, right? Like the decision against Minnesota on 1st and goal or whatever the down to distance was, I know it was and goal, but to throw a pass, yes, there was another player open, but do you even throw it there, right? And we've seen that, like, play calling decisions. Nebraska struggled going into a half every single game this year. And that does not matter who the quarterback is. Yeah, certainly Jeff Sims probably shouldn't have thrown the ball to the back corner. He should have thrown it to whoever, Nate Borkacher or Thomas Fidone, who was wide open in the middle of the end zone. Absolutely, yes. But I think there's more things at play here that maybe were not just Jeff Sims' issues or faults. So with all that in mind, I chalk some of that up to, okay, this was the first 2 games of the year. And while Nebraska's offense maybe has looked better in the last couple of games, they certainly haven't looked strides better with Heinrich Harburg than they have with Jeff Sims. Mostly it's just been holding on to the football. But, like, they still can't run with their running backs. They still don't have a wide receiver that can take the top off of a defense. I couldn't tell you right now who their number one, I mean, probably Billy Kemp, I would assume, is their number one option. But I think if we went out to downtown Lincoln and surveyed 10 Husker fans, hey, who's Nebraska's number one option? You'd have a couple say Thomas Fidone. You'd have a couple say Billy Kemp. Maybe even somebody say Alex Bullock. Somebody say, well, maybe Anthony Grant.
I think you'd get 5 to 6 different answers.
You would get, because we haven't had, or we haven't seen, I should say, somebody really step up and separate themselves from the rest of the pack in whatever position room that they're in.
Nobody's taking that role.
And frankly, even Heinrich Harburg. Like, Heinrich Harburg, yes, he's won games, but we can't sit here and act like he's had these Heisman performances. I think it's supposed to be, it's important to be real and understanding and honest assessment of these last 4 games under Heinrich Harburg's belt. Okay. Excuse me. Before we go to break, we got 2 high school football games this week.
Yes.
Thursday night, Millard North versus Lincoln Southwest. Both of those teams fighting for a playoff spot that starts next Friday. And then on Friday, a top 10 matchup, Gretna and Lincoln East. Both of those games are at Seacrest Field. Both of those games are at 7 p.m. Both of those games with myself and Jay Foreman on the call for that one. Just a reminder about high school football. You can always listen to it on the FM signal, the mobile app, the website, theticketfm.com, and our video stream if you would just rather pop it up on the TV that way. And then Class A playoffs start Friday, October 27th. So stay tuned for coverage from Class A through Class D right here on the ticket. And just a reminder, like we did last year, we'll broadcast all of the state title games from Memorial Stadium here on the ticket as well. So it's our final week of regular season high school football. We had a great game on Friday between Omaha West Side and Millard South.
It was electric.
And so we'll just continue into the final week of the regular season as well coming up. All right. It's a big week for Husker football, obviously, but Saturday's a really, really important and busy day in Husker sports. We have Nebraska football, obviously, kicking it off at 2:30, but at night, number 1 Wisconsin comes in to Lincoln to face off against number 2 Nebraska. Husker volleyball hosts the Badgers. The Badgers have won the last 10 meetings against the Huskers. Obviously, some of those have been in the national championship, some of those in the NCAA tournament, and then obviously some of those just in the regular season. And so it's going to be a lot of volleyball discussion this week here on the happy hour. And we're going to kick
volleyball heavy.
We're going to kick it off right now with our good friend Lincoln Arneal of Huskers Illustrated. He's in here. First time that he's going to be in the new studio.
Mm-hmm.
And so we'll get his initial thoughts on it and hang out with Lincoln coming up next as we break down the Wisconsin Badgers coming into Lincoln this Saturday. 7 p.m. is first serve. And so we'll do that coming up next on the happy hour.
Follow Nick and Enrique on Twitter at Nick_Sainert and at Radio Rico AC. More of Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Houses? They're expensive. And once you buy one, you're kind of stuck with it for a while. You need to make sure you get your best house for the best price. You need Ben Bleicher and his team of pros at Professional Realty Group. They'll take the time to figure out what's important for you in your dream home, and they have the expertise to find the hidden issues that could surprise you after the sale. That's professional knowledge, proactive service. We call that potential. Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's home service ambassador. Find more online at prg-ne.com.
Hi, it's Charlie Stone, and here with me is Andy Goodyear, General Manager of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, I know the new Honda sales are going really good right now at Honda of Lincoln, and with that, a lot of fresh trade-ins are coming in. Can you tell our listeners about your pre-owned selection?
I'm happy to, Charlie. Like you said, with new Honda sales going very good, we have a lot of fresh trade-ins coming in daily, and not just Hondas. We have just about every maker model you can imagine, with over 100 pre-owned and certified pre-owned to choose from, and prices starting at just $5,900.
Wow, what about financing?
We have financing as low as 3.29% APR on certified Accords and CRV.
Thanks again, Andy. People love the selection and great service at Honda of Lincoln. Maybe it's time you come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
If you're not going to Memorial Stadium for a home game and don't have any travel plans for away games, there's a great place in Omaha to catch the action, the Inner Rail Food Hall. There's plenty of space. The Backstretch Bar has amazing game specials on game days. $15 Blue Moon and Bud Light pitchers, $6 margaritas, and $6 Moscow Mules. And if you're hungry, take in some of their great options from their game day pizza specials. Do football game day right in the Inner Rail Food Hall in Exarban Village in Omaha.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 10th and P or at 1501 Center Park Road.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Are you looking for a night of epic fun without breaking the bank? Look no further than Sun Valley Lanes and Games. Join us for our late night special every Sunday through Thursday night and enjoy non-stop action with our Unlimited Fun promotion. Unlimited Fun includes everything you need for an unforgettable night out. Unlimited bowling, unlimited laser tag, and unlimited lucky putt mini golf. Show a valid college or military ID at check-in and get $2 off your admission. Visit the daily rates page at sunvalleylanes.com for complete details.
Sun Valley.
Ironhide Construction is hiring. They're looking for hardworking, self-motivated individuals who are team players. Ironhide Construction has openings for an experienced project manager, estimator, apprentice, skilled laborer, and erector or installer. They will train the right people and make sure you understand the position and requirements. At Ironhide Construction, it's own it, be honest, and do it right. Apply today and learn more about their other benefits at ironhideconstruction.com, where they're committed to you every step of the way.
Fall is officially here, which means it's the perfect time to get outdoors and stay moving. If you're someone who enjoys going on walks in fall weather, but you notice heel pain in your foot when you wake up, it could be a sign of plantar fasciitis. A visit to Fleet Feet Lincoln can help you find the shoes and inserts you need to avoid that pain. Their Fit ID machine takes a 3D image of your feet and picks the shoes that work best for you. Visit Fleet Feet Lincoln, located off of 70th and Pioneers Boulevard, so you can stay moving.
Gray Diesel and Equipment Services is your go-to place in Lincoln for repairs and maintenance for diesel pickups to Class 8 over-the-road trucks and trailers, from bumper pole utility to full-size semi. Gray performs DOT inspections and are a service provider for fleet companies like ARI, Element Fleet, and FleetNet. They're a family-owned business in operation since 1952, and they keep a clean, friendly shop. Customer service is their top priority. Give Gray Diesel and Equipment Services a visit today with easy access just off I-80 and North 56th Street.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest, quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's specials through October 17th are pre-packaged brisket for just $4.99 per pound. And don't forget to check out their Friday feast this week and every week. Plus, stop by the grand opening of the 30th and Yankee Hill location on October 14th and 15th and spend $100 in-store and receive a free cooler of Certified Piedmontese beef. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today. Expect a few areas of frost this morning. Otherwise, expecting mainly sunny skies for the rest of the day. We'll see a high of around 62. Tonight, expecting mainly clear skies with an overnight low of around 39. And tomorrow, most sunny skies return with a high a little warmer, around 72. The meteorologist Kyle Clucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You're listening to The Happy Hour with Nick Sainert.
I vomited last night.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
I literally vomited. I threw up.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We mentioned it before the break, but it's a big week for Husker volleyball. Obviously, number one Wisconsin comes into Lincoln on Saturday. This is really bad on my part because Nebraska does play another match prior to Saturday, and it's against Northwestern on Wednesday on the road in Evanston.
Everybody's overlooking that for weird
exactly
reasons.
And with that, let's go ahead and bring in Lincoln Arneal of Huskers Illustrate. Lincoln, first time in the new spot, a little bigger than in the other place.
Spread out all my research that I came prepared with.
exactly
Stat crunching.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, I guess how does Nebraska balance this? Number one Wisconsin on Saturday, but we have Northwestern on Wednesday.
The nice part for Nebraska is not back to back. I think if it was like a Friday, Saturday, it would become a little more challenging. But you can focus and practice Monday, Tuesday on Northwestern, get the game plan, get prepared to go on the road, and then turn around, and then Thursday, Friday are all Badger focused. And I imagine Nebraska they've been working on Wisconsin a little bit all year long because they know that in order to take the Big Ten crown, you got to go through the Badgers. So they've been probably game planning a little bit this entire season.
It's kind of like a little bit of practice before or with volleyball day in Nebraska where they had, the matches and then they had to go play Omaha. So that was the big environment and everything. That's probably kind of the same thing they're looking at here with Wisconsin. But again, we don't want to overlook Northwestern. So Nebraska travels to Evanston on Wednesday. What are we looking at with this Wildcat squad?
This is really a rebuilt Northwestern squad. They lost a number of players who Nebraska will see on Saturday. Temi Thomas-Alera went from Northwestern to Wisconsin. They also lost a couple other players from last year's team who transferred out for their 5th years. But they really rebuilt a little bit through the transfer portal. They brought in Julia Sangiacomo from Santa Clara, and she is just setting the world on fire for the Wildcats too. I mean, really, she's had a couple different 30-kill performances and really is their offensive star. So, and then you have Alexis Russo's back. She's at center, and they had a couple of the nice pieces as well too. So I think they're very similar to some of the other teams that Nebraska's seen that are very dependent. I mean, like an Ohio State, a Penn State, that are very dependent on one hitter that carries a lot of their offensive workload in San Giacomo. So that's a little bit so familiar for Nebraska. I think helps them out with their preparation is they got to adjust to the specific shots, but the style they're used to, and they've seen a lot.
Speaking of Penn State, and before we get into Wisconsin, I got a couple questions. So speaking of Penn State, Nebraska sweeps the Nittany Lions, number 13 ranked Nittany Lions, and they take down Michigan State this past weekend. What was the most impressive thing that you noticed from the Huskers in those two matches?
The most impressive part was, I think, that second set against Penn State. Nebraska falls down 8-1, and then it's like a lot of teams may give up. All right, good. We'll go 4. We'll take care of. This set's gone, wasted. But when Nebraska was down 8-1, I don't know, something flipped, or Laney Choboy gave a nice little pep talk, or whatever happened. After they were down, they didn't allow Penn State to score another point on their serve the remainder of the set. So that really kind of showed the determination. And they didn't have, I mean, I think their longest run, they had a 4-0 run late, but when they got back to tied at 18-18, their longest run was maybe 3-point run. So it's just that determination of grit and kind of the ability to fight back when it looks like things were looking pretty dire there for a moment.
Speaking of the grit, and then I was really impressed with the depth that Nebraska was showing, where, coming off of Big Ten Player of the Week, Lindsey Krause against Michigan State didn't look the best. Harper Murray had a tough weekend, her standards, and really anybody's standards. So the ability to bring in Hayden Kubik, who hasn't really played much this season, and then Allie Batenhorst, who had been subbing in for Lindsey Krause during her injury stint on the injured reserve, so to speak. I thought that was really impressive for Nebraska, is just the ability to show that depth, and it's something that they're really going to need going deeper into the season, facing a really deep Wisconsin squad.
Yeah, and you saw it a little bit too. I mean, you saw Maggie Mendelson start on Friday night against Michigan State and give Beck Alec a couple sets off. But Beck then came back and looked like her dominant self too. So that depth is helpful too. I mean, especially when they're struggling too. I mean, I don't know if it's just the expectations or teams are beginning to scout Harper Murray a little bit better, but she looked a little off and was forcing things a little bit too, but just allow her to come out of the match. More so on Saturday, she came out for 4 or 5 points in that second set where she was just in a rut, reset, talk to the coaches a little bit, and then get back in. And Hayden Kubik was able to come in and kind of maintain. And she had a couple really nice kills against Michigan State too that really helped Nebraska settle things down and get back on the right track.
We're speaking with Lincoln Arneal of Huskers Illustrated. And Lincoln, again, they faced Northwestern on Wednesday, but again, we're all looking forward to that Wisconsin matchup 1-2 on Saturday at 7. Some people will be making the trek from Memorial over to the Bob. Traffic's going to be disgusting that night. Wisconsin, the number 1 team all season, an extremely deep squad, bringing in some transfers. Like you said, Temi Thomas-Alera, one of the best outside hitters in the Big Ten, was playing for Northwestern. Now is at Wisconsin. I mean, what does Nebraska have to do to beat this extremely talented Badger squad?
I think the most important part is the mental aspect of it too. This is, I mean, again, I think what helps with Nebraska's youth and experience against Wisconsin is they don't have the history of losing those 10 straight matches. I mean, a couple of the juniors have only been around to lose 5 or 6 of those. So that's really going to be, I think, helpful for Nebraska, is to focus on the mental aspect of realize they have the talent. Wisconsin is really talented, but Nebraska has the talent to hang with Wisconsin and really even disrupt what they want to do. So that's going to be the key, is just the mental side of things, because I think Nebraska can slug away. They can play defense with Wisconsin, but can they stay mentally tough? Wisconsin's going to score points. How will Nebraska respond to that? That's going to be the key to the match on Saturday.
You're really going to need that bounce back that, if they start slow, like they had on the road, when they came back home, their first sets, they hadn't started slow. And that's something that was really impressive. But if they start slow against this Wisconsin squad, you're right. That mental aspect is going to be a big part of it, but also something that Nebraska has to figure out and has to correct is the service errors.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I know. It's the one thing that John Cook has talked about a lot, that they're drilling. I mean, they're working on it every single day, but there's a little bit of disconnect, and I don't know what exactly it is. Merritt Beeson talked about this a little bit of whether it's just nerves or, again, that mental aspect. It's just you and the volleyball back there serving. How can you put aside everything else? Put aside the score, put aside what just happened, put aside, who's across the net too, and do what you need to do to get that ball in. So I think that if Nebraska's, and there's two different kinds of service errors. There's a service error where you're getting in the middle of the net, and that can be demoralizing too. But if you're serving it and it's serving just a little bit long, I think those are a lot more livable misses too.
You talked about Merritt Beeson, excuse me, and Rico and I talked about her a couple weeks ago after she was winning Big Ten Player of the Week and such. I don't know if there's a more impactful transfer in the country than Merritt Beeson, what she's done for Nebraska.
Yeah, she's definitely. It's not just only on the court too. We asked John Cook on Saturday what kind of impact she's had. It's her leadership. She's a very calming influence. She's seen a lot. She was a captain at Florida as a sophomore, so she brings a lot to the game too. It also helps to be able to terminate like she does at a very high rate and lead the team in kills. So I think she just brings that complete package. But I think her leadership and her demeanor have really buoyed the young Nebraska team.
So Nebraska is being led by Merritt Beeson, Lex Rodriguez, but then the freshman, Harper Murray, Andy Jackson has stepped up in a big way. Lainey Choboy in that back row. You mentioned, the experience, and some of these players haven't been around for, obviously the 10 straight matches that Wisconsin's won against Nebraska, but how, I guess, intimidating. And I know that they've played they mention it all the time. They're not young in terms of volleyball, experience. They played all this time outside, but how intimidating might, going up against this Wisconsin squad be for some of these younger players? The block for Wisconsin, and the fact that it seems as if, whenever the ball gets hit, it's never touching the floor on Wisconsin side because of their amazing defense. Like how intimidating, and I know you spoke on the mental aspect, but would that be for some of these younger players?
I think if this was one of their first weekends of the mat, it'd be but when you talk about the size, the skill level, Wisconsin is very comparable to what Stanford did, and Nebraska handled Stanford. I was surprised how easily Stanford's home environment's another topic, but they took care of business against Stanford. Stanford starts 6'5", 6'6", Kendall Kipp 6'4", and they got another great libero back there too, and Kami Minor as running really good setter as well. So I think Wisconsin is very similar to what Nebraska saw skill-wise and size-wise as they did against Stanford too. So I don't know if yes, it's very big and intimidating, but if they had not played Stanford, I think that would be a more shock to the system. But because of what Nebraska did against Stanford, I think that gives them a little bit more hope. And I don't know if more bravado, but it gives them more chance against Wisconsin.
And I know you're a voter for the top 25 on Volleyball Mag and all of the.
We're only top 16. We give us an easy job. We only do 16.
But the craziness that happened last week in college volleyball. How what's the word I'm looking for? How crazy would the top 4 get if Nebraska or Wisconsin just handles the other?
It'd be a little bit, but to me, there's a top tier that's really kind of started to separate about 5 or 6 teams. Wisconsin, Nebraska, I think, are in great position no matter what happens this weekend to host for regionals. Stanford, Washington State's kind of that 1B to Stanford out in the Pac-12. Then Louisville and Texas. I think Louisville had one of the most impressive wins. They swept Pitt. Mm-hmm. And they're close sets, but they swept Pitt on their home court, and that really kind of established their spot on top of the ACC. And then Texas, they've probably already played the 2 toughest teams in the Big 12 and made quick work. They got them both in Austin, which was thank you schedule makers. But so I think to me that top 6 is really starts separate. But then after that, that's when you get the chaos of Oregon losing to Arizona State. Yeah. Arizona State beats Oregon, but then loses to Oregon State the night before. Georgia Tech losing to Miami in the ACC, and the SEC is just a cluster. Arkansas is leading that. Kentucky's down. Florida's Florida's not the same since they lost Alexa Stuckey. So that's a lot more jumbled. And Arkansas's only losses were to Wisconsin. So they could be a legit team. But to me, that sixth group, I think that's where our 4 hosts are going to come out of come December.
All right, Lincoln, last one before we let you go. We're hanging out with Lincoln Arneal of Huskers Illustrated. Time to put the prediction cap on. Saturday's match. Because I think we're all predicting Nebraska to beat Northwestern. Is that a clean sweep right there?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway,
I mean, they're probably gonna do what they do, and they're gonna start slow.
I was gonna say, but going towards Saturday,
they'll probably be ridiculous and lose the first set, and then
yeah. Going towards Saturday, how do you see this one playing out? Will Husker fans go home happy?
I think because it's at Devaney Center, Nebraska.
That was what's interesting is I didn't know how this changes if it's at Wisconsin first.
Yeah, if it's at Wisconsin first, I'm taking the Badgers.
Yeah.
But it's at Devaney Center, and you saw against Penn State, Nebraska came out hair on fire, just kind of imposing their will against Penn State, which is a very solid team. And I mean, Wisconsin's played in this environment. A lot of them have been to Nebraska and know that what it's like to step into the Devaney Center. But I think that's the one thing, a sign of youthfulness, is that they really feed off the energy of the crowd. So I think Nebraska gets it done. If it's a sweep, I will be extremely surprised. I'm
oh my goodness,
4 or 5 is what
I would say. How late are we going to be there?
Post game will be done about 11 o'clock.
Have fun with those deadlines.
Yeah.
Every time he's like, good luck with those deadlines. Like, the deadline's passed, John. It's gone.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Well, once again, Lincoln, appreciate it as always. Always a good time when you come in and stop by the studio. And especially now that we're downtown, you'll be able to even more often, man. So once again, Lincoln Arneal of Huskers Illustrated, good stuff from him as always. Let's go ahead and take our final timeout. We'll bring in Austin Norman for the crossover coming up next.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day long wherever you are. More of the happy hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Problem gambling is not just a financial issue. It's an emotional problem with financial consequences. If you or a loved one is struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
Husker fans, head coach Amy Williams and your Husker women's basketball team want to see you at Pinnacle Bank Arena this season. Season tickets are on sale now. Reserve your spot to cheer on the Huskers as they take on some of the best teams in the Big Ten and around the country. Opponents include Creighton, Maryland, Indiana, Iowa, and more. To buy tickets, go to huskers.com/tickets or call 1-800-8-BIG-RED. They have a full season of fun set for this year. For promotional information, visit huskers.com.
Gray Diesel and Equipment Services is your go-to place in Lincoln for repairs and maintenance for diesel pickups to Class 8 over-the-road trucks and trailers, from bumper pole utility to full-size semi. Gray performs DOT inspections and are a service provider for fleet companies like ARI, Element Fleet, and FleetNet. They're a family-owned business in operation since 1952, and they keep a clean, friendly shop. Customer service is their top priority. Give Gray Diesel and Equipment Services a visit today with easy access just off I-80 and North 56th Street.
Belmont Chiropractic and Novotny Nutrition and Wellness specialize in getting rid of people's pain quickly and permanently. For 31 years, they've been extremely successful with advanced techniques in pain relief using spinal adjustments and decompression, detoxification, diet and lifestyle modification, and more. They are fully equipped to handle the most seasonal athlete, weekend warrior, car accidents, strains, sprains, and more. Is there anywhere you're experiencing pain on your body, or are you fighting decreased energy and depression? Consult Belmont Chiropractic and Novotny Nutrition and Wellness first at 402-476-8619.
Whether you're booking a trip to Lincoln for a football game or a volleyball weekend, the Scarlet Hotel at Innovation Campus is the place for you. The Scarlet Hotel is special on many levels, from the delicious Well and Good restaurant on the main floor to the coolest rooftop patio bar in Lincoln, the Barred Owl, on the top floor of the hotel with great views of the city and one of the coolest drink menus. Book your stay or book a staycation today at scarlethotelnebraska.com.
If you're not going to Memorial Stadium for a home game and don't have any travel plans for away games, there's a great place in Omaha to catch the action, the Inner Rail Food Hall. There's plenty of space. The Backstretch Bar has amazing game specials on game days. $15 Blue Moon and Bud Light pitchers, $6 margaritas, and $6 Moscow Mules. And if you're hungry, take in some of their great options from their game day pizza specials. Do football game day right in the Inner Rail Food Hall in Exarban Village in Omaha.
Hey, it's Sean Callahan, and football season is here, and there is one place that has all the games, plus great food and beer specials. Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Whether it's Thursday night football, college football Saturdays, NFL Sundays, or Monday night football, there's a great view of the game from any seat with different food and drink specials every night. Try the Blue Ribbon Reuben Sandwich or the Prime Rib French Dip or any of their famous chicken wings. That's Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, and man, the October incentives get better. You won't want to miss this. Happening right now at Coppell, you have 0% financing or $6,500 off MSRP on select new half-ton crew cab pickups. Yes, you heard right. Happening right now until the end of the month. 0% financing or $6,500 off sticker price. Those incentives are the best we've seen this entire year. Hurry on in while supplies last. Just take that short money-saving drive down 144th Street or check us out online at CoppellCars.com. You'll be glad you did. All offers include trade-in bonus and with roof credit.
It's time to close out the 2023 high school football regular season right here on 93.7 The Ticket. Hey guys, it's Nick Sainer. Join me and the Husker Hall of Famer Jay Foreman this Thursday and Friday for a doubleheader in the final week of the regular season. First up on Thursday, it's a matchup of 2, 3, and 5 overall teams as they fight for the final playoff spot. Miller North travels to Lincoln to face off against the Silverhawks of Lincoln Southwest. And then on Friday, it's a top 10 clash between Gretna and the Lincoln East Spartans. All that and more coming your way this Thursday and Friday for high school football on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
College football in Lincoln, America. The time has come. Start your game day off right with the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the Ticket crew as they bring you all the coverage you need to get you ready for the action. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show, powered by Sunbelt Rentals. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador, Select Plumbing, Jimmy John's, Lincoln Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits, Fleet Feet, Yours Cheese Spread on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainer.
Even before you start, that was a preemptive shh.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
I already had someone created in my image. He's evil, he wants to take over the world, and he fits easily into most overhead storage bins.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into the Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick, Rico, and a father.
Papa Orman's here.
Hello, Austin.
Hey, guys.
How's
you didn't
life?
have a bye week last week either?
No, we did not.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
I'm not sure how
Sorry,
much.
I didn't get the memo. I didn't know what bye week meant. That's on me. My bad.
I'm not sure you necessarily had a bye week either. You had stuff going on.
You have a fatherly
stuff going
glow.
on.
What
What
did we say earlier? You're glowing.
I said,
no, that's not what you said.
I said,
regal.
I said you looked
older.
I said you looked older.
I said you look wiser. That's what I said.
Dad strength is unlocked.
Oh, right?
Yeah.
Really?
I went all week. My arms didn't get tired. I was pretty proud of myself.
That's good.
Yeah.
Don't worry, they get heavier.
You support, you support the head?
Oh, always.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
That's
Always
good.
support that.
That's good. Anyway.
Hey, and rave reviews for supporting the head. He can turn both ways when he's on his tummy.
No
So,
way.
I'm telling you, babies are getting stronger. They're crazy.
Bionic
Beckett,
babies.
built different.
They're crazy.
We asked you off the air a couple hours ago, was Herbie ever in contention?
Not seriously.
That's a shame.
I have called
Tragic.
him Herbie a couple times behind the scenes.
Okay.
And at least once my wife has caught me
So,
and given me some side.
We just have to get to the point where his name can be Beckett. That's fine. We'll allow that to happen.
Beckett.
We just need to get to the point where he responds to Herbie.
Hey, did you know that Nick didn't know your child's name?
That's fine.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Oscar.
it's fine. Whatever.
He called Beckett by the wrong name. I
What
don't even
did
know
I
what
call
said.
him?
Then you said Emmett.
No, I did not. No, it started with a B.
Emmett was on
I
the
think
list
I think
for
I
a
said
while.
I think I said Bennett.
Oh yeah, you said Bennett.
I said Bennett, not
Gotcha.
Beckett.
Yeah.
So
And he's like,
Close
oh,
enough.
he goes,
Fair.
oh,
Whatever.
He's gonna kill me.
So
Oh,
it's
yeah.
funny you mentioned the name doesn't actually have to be Herbie. You just have to get him close enough.
Yeah.
So one of my high school friends had a younger brother whose name was Cooper, but a group of my friends just exclusively called him Carlos.
Oh.
He only responded to Carlos for a couple months.
That's awesome.
So
I
that
love
does
that.
work. It does happen.
I will say, so I had a buddy in high school that his name was Dakota.
Mhm.
People called him Cody. We only called him Dak. And so it was kind of cool because like that's right when Dak Prescott came into the league. So it was like dang, Dak's a cool name. Like this was like in the middle of Dak trying to get to the Heisman, like trying number one
Never
Mississippi
forget
State.
they were the first number one in college football playoff rankings.
Yeah,
Shout out to
Mississippi State.
I have a friend named Dylan. His middle name is Dylan. His first name is Patrick. Nobody
calls him Patrick.
Nobody knew his first name was
That's awesome.
Patrick. And I had been going to college with him for like 4 years. And I'd known him in high school a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody knew his first name was Patrick. Everybody just called him Dylan. Even at races, everything, it said Dylan. Nobody, and then we're just like, I think it's when he graduated, they were like, Patrick Dylan. And we're like, wait a minute, hold on.
And that's the thing is like, I don't have a middle name that's cool to go by.
Okay, this is incredible. Big shout out to Jerry, who's listening. Jerry is Cooper's dad, and they're listening. They heard the story and they remember it. Yeah,
That's great.
Shout out to Carlos.
Shout out to Carlos.
Big Carlos. Yeah.
No, that's
Love
the
you,
thing
Coop.
is like, I don't have a cool enough nickname to where I'm like, you know what? I want to be called that instead of this.
Like Rico.
Yeah, I mean, kind of.
It's a cool nickname.
It's a
Yeah,
it's
what
a,
were
it's
your
a
guys'
fine,
nicknames
It's a
growing
fine,
up? Like, you had to have had one.
I had about 15.
What was your favorite and least favorite?
Ooh.
So
Be
a lot of
honest.
these are from my parents. I would be called Knickerbockers.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Rico
didn't-
likes that one.
I didn't care for that one a ton.
Big fan of the Knickerbockers.
That I mean, it's kind of cool. It is all right. Snickers was one of them for a while.
Okay.
It's all
Okay.
food related, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But I don't know. Like they all just had my name just with additional letters.
Hmm.
And now Big Swim, I guess.
Yeah.
So
Big Swim's a cool nickname.
Big
You gotta
Swim is
admit.
Big Swim is okay.
That fly is killing me.
It went right over here. It went up
It
in my-
landed on your eye.
It goes straight
landed-
through your face.
Yep. Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
I'll open this door and let you
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. Anyway, it was attacking Lincoln while he was in the seat too. I was like, man, Lincoln's not even swatting away. Double pump. I
Oh,
forgot
yeah.
about that one. It wasn't double pump. It was triple pump.
Triple pump.
Ah.
And it was because
You ran 3 shotguns in Fortnite?
no. What
Yes.
happened? Yeah, no. What happened was I filled in for Jake on early break one morning, and I was telling Sip about a slow pitch softball story about how I was at second base and there was just a routine ground ball. It was co-ed. There was a woman playing first base. She took a little bit longer to get over to the first base bag. Not really a whole lot of urgency from our first base woman. And I had to triple pump to get it over because I had to wait. And I was like, oh, I want to throw it. Nope, I don't. Nope. Okay, there it is. Had to triple pump. I threw it on the 4th time and threw it right into the dirt. And it drilled her ankles. And so
rhythm is a thing in passing and throwing. It is a thing.
It is. And that's why they tell you not to come together.
Double clutch.
Yeah, clutch it. Yeah. And so anyway, then Sip goes, oh no, you triple pumped? Come on, triple pump. That's all Sip does. He makes stupid nicknames.
Just comes up with them.
Yeah. So somebody says triple pump seriously one of the greatest Nick stories ever. There's been a lot of them, unfortunately. There's been a lot of them in my short time
you
here.
You do share a lot of your outside the station life.
Yeah, there's a lot of there. There's a lot, but yeah, triple pump. Hey, MySpace man,
hey,
nice,
watch it,
nice. Anyway, let's pause 10 seconds for station identifications, and then we'll do weekend pick recap.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK.
Alrighty, so once again, 464-5685. It's too bad. So Strick is not here today. I'll be filling in for Strick on the block with Austin. Austin comes back and Strick goes, hell nah, I'm not
like,
coming in.
Not this guy again. Smells like a baby on that
yeah,
one.
so there you go. No, so it's too bad Strick isn't here though, because
good week or bad week for Strick?
it was a fine week. Like, he got bailed out because of his Dolphins super lock. He went 1-3 in college football picks. Now that Oregon and Washington game, it just is a wash.
It just disappeared. Which
It's
means
just a wash, which means 2
super
points
lock.
for either one of you guys. You will lose 2 points because you don't necessarily lose it. It's just
you just don't have
away into thin air.
Why didn't they punt it at the 50?
So
ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, hey, me and Strick, we lose 1 point. I mean, 1 point's just up in the air. So
yeah, whatever.
Poof.
It
Anyway.
disappeared.
So let's just go through some of these. We all took Penn State to cover the 41.5, and they did so comfortably.
I forgot that I took that. I thought I didn't, and I saw like the second quarter score, and I go, "Well, this is ridiculous."
I hate this. Me and Rico took Notre Dame. Austin and Strick took SC. Shame.
You got to believe in the hottest coach in college football. Not in terms of coaching. I mean, in looks.
Here's the deal. I'll be honest with you guys right now. Okay,
Go ahead.
Because
Share your
what I did about an hour ago.
I was there. I was privy.
You are ridiculous for this.
I bought a Notre Dame sweatshirt. I think I need to embrace this idea that I'm a Notre Dame fan.
You know who else bought a Notre Dame sweatshirt?
Who?
Carter Nelson. I'm kidding.
What is pious if not the Notre Dame of Nebraska?
Here's the deal.
I'm kidding.
I think I need to embrace the fact that I'm a Notre Dame fan. I've tried to hide it. I haven't. I've talked a lot about Marcus Freeman.
You're not a Notre Dame fan. You're a Marcus Freeman fan.
No, but see, here's the thing: is I really like Audric Estime. Here's the deal: Equinemius St. Brown went there. Not necessarily my favorite of the St. Browns, but
You're an Amon-Ra guy.
I am an Amon-Ra guy. Amon-Ra, by the way, went to USC.
Yes.
So Equinemius beat Amon yesterday.
Tragically.
So I listen. I just think
you're a fan of you're a LeBron James fan, where you're
yeah,
just gonna follow him wherever he goes.
Yeah, you're probably right. But they don't make a Marcus Freeman sweatshirt, so we're not going to do that.
I mean,
someone's probably done it.
Can somebody just screen print that?
Yeah,
I mean,
probably.
just an iron on anybody?
Just his face.
Here we're gonna do a Bill Bush early break impression here. If somebody wants to make us a Marcus Freeman iron on,
I won't wear it.
Yes, you would.
I won't wear it. I might.
Yeah, exactly. Because here's the deal: you guys like Marcus Freeman.
People say I look like Marcus Freeman.
You're just not as outward about it.
No,
found one.
See, look.
Oh my gosh, that is him. That's a little too expensive.
And that guy looks exactly like you.
I'm not.
I'm just saying.
It is. Oh my gosh,
it's you.
Yeah. Hey, how'd they get me on Redbubble? It needs to be a little bit bigger.
You're trying to tell us you need a Marcus Freeman sweatshirt, but you're actually wearing one.
Yeah,
I
actually have 6. Okay, so continuing though on with this, Iowa, Wisconsin. Me, Rico, and Strick all took Wisconsin. Austin took Iowa.
Look at you.
Then
ridiculous
in the
game.
nightcap, I would be lying to you if I told you that I didn't stay up until 1:30 in the morning to watch this game. San Diego State against Hawaii.
I forgot about that one.
It was
keep going.
San Diego State against Hawaii. I misprinted it.
Yes.
And
I would have taken the Aztecs.
Okay, so you want me to switch? Okay.
Yes,
I'll be honest.
I'll be honest.
I misprinted it. I misprinted. I still would have taken Hawaii. Rico, you took UAB. I misprinted it. I don't know where I got UAB from. It was San Diego State at Hawaii.
I'm a bigger fan of San Diego State than I am of UAB.
I just switched it to San Diego State for you, so we're good. I figured you would have. So therefore, Austin, you are 3-1 in college football. which means you had a 6-3 week.
All right.
And that means you are now 44-40. Okay.
44, that's me.
Now here's
four?
so that's college football because San Diego State won by 7. Hawaii had so many turnovers. They had that Hawaii offense though is fun to watch. I highly recommend find a Hawaii game and turn it on. They just chuck it as far as they can down the field. That's
like Colt
all.
Brennan never left.
That is all they do. The guy, their quarterback, Shager is his last name. Wears number 13 for Hawaii. That man just rears back, and he got drilled one of the times because he just was trying to chuck it about 73 yards.
It's like, here we go.
And a lot of times he was able to catch them, right? But they eventually lost by 7, 31-24. Hawaii, by the way, down 17-0 at one point in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Just want to say that.
Not the greatest comeback of the weekend, but a pretty good comeback.
I was up till 1:30 watching that stupid game. So I
was up till midnight watching Colorado Stanford, and as soon as Stanford hits the field goal to go to overtime, I was like, I got to get to bed because we were leaving the next day. I was like, I got to get to bed, and I'm mad that I didn't stay up. That Stanford's wide receiver, I don't even remember his first. It's like Elric or something like that, or Elick or whatever. That man, it was a problem. I'm pretty sure he played himself into the NFL in that game.
Well, I'll be honest. Like I was driving home from Millard South High School after the West Side Millard South game on Friday. And I saw, 29-0. Colorado's got this in the bag. They're fine. And then I woke up and they were texting our group chat with all my buddies of like, what a catch by whatever his name is.
Alec A.O. Manor.
Thank you.
A.O. Manor.
Thank you.
I
And
turned it on.
I was like, wait a minute. And they won. And I go, no way.
I turned it on at halftime because I saw it was 29-0. And I said, okay, I wanted to watch Colorado's offense. I was like, let me see how many points they can put up. And then they just stopped scoring. And Stanford was like, you know what's really cool is that we can score now. When you lose a 29-0 lead to Stanford of all programs, your season's going downhill quick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was not.
I looked at Colorado's remaining schedule. I don't see a win on their easiest game is Arizona, who just railroaded Washington State.
Hey, all I'm going to say about Arizona, so they have the backup quarterback right now. I gotta remember his name. It starts with a K. It's like Kifka or something like that. Because I stayed up.
Kafita?
Hold on, Arizona
Nick
football
something,
QB. Yeah,
Kitna.
Kafita. Fafita. Noah Fafita. How about this? Threw for 342 yards on Saturday. Jonah Coleman, Arizona's running back, had 168 total yards and 3 touchdowns. Arizona's defense forced 3 turnovers in their 44-6 win against number 19 Washington State. Just a crazy couple of weeks for Arizona because they imagine if they would have been able to knock off USC the previous week in the Coliseum, they probably should have. Honestly, they were up 17-0 in that game, I think, too, at one point. But yeah, Noah Fafita, he in his second start beats number 19 Washington State 44-6.
If they knocked off USC, they're in the top 25 right now. They're right at 25.
I can see that.
Because then they only have 2 losses, right? They're 5-2. They're 4-3 right now.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, on to the NFL. Me and Rico took the Bengals to cover the 3 against the Seahawks. The Bengals won 17-13. So Bengals covered there. We all took the Dolphins, and Strick super locked the Dolphins.
Was tricky.
The Patriots and the Raiders. Everybody but Rico took the Raiders.
I took the Raiders at first, and I was like, why not? I'll stick with my team.
Yeah, how do you make up any ground?
And now I know I shouldn't have.
This dawned on me over the weekend. Like, I knew it, but it never stood out in my mind that you're a Yankees fan and a Patriots fan.
Yeah, no, it's weird. It's fine.
Like I knew it, but it never sunk in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no,
till this weekend.
It's a little weird.
Okay,
but it's okay. Did you see the safety for Mac Jones?
Which one?
The last one that pretty much ended the game.
Yeah.
The tight end, I think it was Hunter Henry, whiffs on the block. It was Max Crosby, and then the right tackle just doesn't even try. What is happening? What is happening?
They're quitting on Belichick. He's lost the locker room.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
He's washed.
Belichick washed.
Honestly, even if he retired, he's 6 Super Bowls. Doesn't matter. He needs one more win to get to, I think, 300.
Yeah. The moving on, Detroit Lions beat the Buccaneers. Lions, by the way, tied for first place in the NFC. Just want to throw that out there. The Buccaneers, the Lions were a 3-point favorite, and they won by a lot more than that. Me, Austin, and Strick took the Lions. Rico took the Buccaneers.
I thought Baker Mayfield had it.
Not in those creamsicle, ugly, bleeping uniforms,
I like
dude.
the
They're
disgusting.
ugly.
I
They
like
are
creamsicle.
ugly.
If anybody
And then
has
they
a
put the-
creamsicle uniform that they want to give to me, I'll take it.
And then they put that orange, nasty creamsicle color around their stadium too. Oh,
big
it's
fan.
disgusting.
Big fan.
Giants at the Bills. Basically, Okereke, the defender for the Giants, basically kept this game within 15, and the Giants covered. Giants should have won, frankly. Bad decision making right before halftime. Probably could have been a penalty at the end. They shouldn't have called a roughing the passer on Okereke on the pass that he tipped and hit
Ridiculous.
Josh Allen's arm.
Mhm.
But
But
it
he
is
knocked
what
him
it is.
down. So
Didn't tuck him
Excuse
in
me.
and tell him a bedtime story.
Yeah, that's right. So the Giants covered the 15. We all four got that wrong. So
That checks out.
updated records. I went 7-3 this week. Rico went 5-4. Austin went 6-3, and Strick went 5-5. Obviously, you guys missed out on some points because of the no super locks
I
of
coulda
that
gone
Oregon Washington
Could've gone
game.
7-4.
No, you would have gone 7-5.
Whatever. If Dan Lanning just punts it from the 50.
No, I'm sorry. You would have gone 5-6 because you took Oregon.
That's what I'm
and
saying.
super
If Dan
locked.
Lanning just punts it, Oregon wins that game.
Austin could have gone a whopping 8-3.
Mm-hmm.
Missed opportunity for Austin
Big
there.
one.
Updated season records.
Is there any way that we can just like choose that? Just like, yeah, it's just nothing's gonna happen. Just give me the 3.
I mean, yeah, I
I would
suppose
give you
so.
5 points if you pick a push correctly. In my head, obviously I'm not the scorekeeper.
Yeah,
but
like,
it would
Hey,
count
that
for
would
more in my
okay.
head.
You know what?
if you did that,
If
like if
if
there
we
is
want to
one?
do that, I would give 10.
You're the scorekeeper.
I would give 10
You correctly
Okay,
predict
you lose
a
from
push.
now on. You lose 2.
you get 10.
You get 10.
I might try that
Sure.
at one point. Just a Hail
So
Mary
we
shot.
gotta make
Or
up ground.
basically, we could just do like the 1-to-5 ratio, and it's like if you want to, you could risk 5 points if you want to get 25
Yep.
with the push.
Sure.
I mean, we could do that. That'd be good.
We'll see what happens.
It's a 1-to-5 ratio.
Yeah.
We can install that on Friday. So updated records. I am sitting at 57-30. Rico is at 41-42.
Right there, baby. I told you I'd come back.
Austin is at 44-40, and Strick is at 22-23. So there you go. There's our updated records on the weekend picks. Still unsponsored. Might be sponsored here soon. So
Working on it.
let's go ahead and by the way, just a refresher of what 2022 picks were for the season.
We don't need to.
This is now something we're going to continue throughout the entire calendar year,
Nice.
probably.
Yeah.
And we'll just reset it at the start of the football season. Let's just plan on that going forward. Rico in 2022 was 59-68. I was 83-43.
I would have been so much better if we would have done basketball picks.
Well, we're going to do basketball picks.
Exciting. College
So-
and NBA.
Austin, it's you and I today, man. Quickly, what's coming up?
Husker first half review, second half predictions, college football weekend recap, and recruiting with Brian Munson.
All right, there you go. I'm filling in for Strick. Stick around. Let's go ahead and move on to On the Block here on 93.7 The Ticket. See ya.
Adios.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top shelf liquor to crowd favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Husker fans, head coach Amy Williams and your Husker women's basketball team want to see you at Pinnacle Bank Arena this season. Season tickets are on sale now. Reserve your spot to cheer on the Huskers as they take on some of the best teams in the Big Ten and around the country. Opponents include Creighton, Maryland, Indiana, Iowa, and more. To buy tickets, go to huskers.com/tickets or call 1-800-8-BIG-RED. They have a full season of fun set for this year. For promotional information, visit huskers.com.
A team succeeds when they work together. Banking's no different. At UBT, we're in your corner for every financial move you want to make. Your money's backed by a roster of experts who put in the work to know you and your community. So whether you're opening a savings account, buying a home, or planning your future, you always know who to turn to. Working together toward your financial goals. That's a win in our playbook. Union Bank and Trust. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's specials through October 17th are pre-packaged brisket for just $4.99 per pound. And don't forget to check out their Friday feast this week and every week. Plus, stop by the grand opening of the 30th and Yankee Hill location on October 14th and 15th and spend $100 in-store and receive a free cooler of Certified Piedmontese beef. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, and man, of the October incentives get better. You won't want to miss this. Happening right now at Coppell, you have 0% financing or $6,500 off MSRP on select new half-ton crew cab pickups. Yes, you heard right. Happening right now until the end of the month. 0% financing or $6,500 off sticker price. Those incentives are the best we've seen this entire year. Hurry on in while supplies last. Just take that short money-saving drive down 144th Street or check us out online at CoppellCars.com. You'll be glad you did. All offers include trade-in bonus and with approved credit.
Ironhide Construction is hiring. They're looking for hardworking, self-motivated individuals who are team players. Ironhide Construction has openings for an experienced project manager, estimator, apprentice, skilled laborer, and erector or installer. They will train the right people and make sure you understand the position and requirements.